everybody! So for today's Halloween card, I'm using images from the Alleyway Stamps Funky Feet stamp set. And I stamped it onto Covet quality cardstock with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And then I had die cut it with one of the MFT Pierced Square Stacks Dynamics. Say that 3 times fast. So once I did that, I'm coloring it in with Copic markers. So super quick and simple card today, and a quick image to color because I'm basically just using 3 different colors and then just a couple shades of each color. So I chose a green that's going to match my pattern papers that I'm going to use, and then I went in with my oranges, which ended up being the Y38, which is more of a yellow orange, and then the Y04. And then for my purples, I'm using the V06 and V09, which even though they're close together, the V09 is really, really dark, but using it in a really small area like this while it's still wet, it's quick and simple to kind of blend out. Otherwise, you just kind of have to work a little harder to blend it. But then, so once I got that colored, I wanted to add a little bit of shading just to kind of ground that image. So I got out my trusty W grays and used my W3 first, blended that with the W1, and then blended all that out with the W00. And that was all there was to it. So yeah, super quick and simple. And then for the pattern paper for the card, it's the Pebbles Tricks and Treats 6x6 pack is what I decided to use. And I'm using the Pierced Square Stacks again, and I just used the largest one on one of the stripe patterns and then 2 sizes down on the web pattern. And like I said, I wanted to make a quick and simple card, so white card base, and then I was just going to offset these squares. So just kind of layered them together so that you can still see the pattern. I don't know, it's just kind of one of those things, once I start fiddling with it, usually I like to keep everything kind of lined up, but yeah, just played around with it and it just started kind of flowing. And then I wanted to add some twine as my embellishment, but I wanted to wrap it up around the card vertically, and that's where my fold was. So the easiest way around that is I just marked a spot with my fingernail where I want the twine to be, and then just use my crocodile, but any like strong hole punch will work, to punch a hole just in the top of the card along the spine. And then threaded through, I just cut 3 pieces of the twine, and this is actually Lemon Drop from the Twinery, but it's got like, I don't consider it like a yellow color, it's more orange than yellow, so it kind of went with the lighter orange of the pattern paper, because for whatever reason I don't have like a Halloween orange. I don't know, I probably do somewhere, but I can't seem to find it, but this works just perfectly. So wrapped that around, tied it in a bow, adjusted it, trimmed it off, and then Sentiment, of course, is again from the Funky Feet set. And inked that up with the VersaFine Onyx Black. That is kind of my go-to black ink for sentiments. I've actually done a video on my channel about my favorite black inks and why, because I get asked that a lot. But that is my favorite black ink for just stamping sentiments and whatnot. And then for the main little foot image, I'm just using my dimensionals, which I always cut them in half. And yeah, I tend to use a lot, but I'd rather that than it get, you know, if you're going to mail the card or anything, it's not going to get pressed in and get all funky. I'd rather the image be consistent, and I don't know, I find these dimensionals to be really affordable. They're a little annoying with the red line static adhesive on them, but I just use scissors to peel that off and just make sure to throw them out so they're not hanging around, but they tend to travel all over my house, but I love them anyway. They're such good dimensionals, so I just suck up the little inconveniences of them. So for the inside of the card, kept it simple. I'm just using the Memento Bamboo Leaves ink. That green, again, was kind of the closest green I had in all my inks to the green in the pattern paper. So I inked up the foot image 3 times with that ink and just stamped it along the bottom inside of the card, and then quickly wiped up any extra ink on my craft mat so I didn't get like smeared ink on a white card base. And then I just cut a couple strips of the same pattern paper I used on the front since I had some scraps left over, and then just adhered those to the inside of the card, and that was it for the inside. Just quick, simple, easy. And then of course I couldn't not add a little bit of glitter, so I grabbed my Wink of Stella clear pen brush, whatever you call it, and went over the shoes and a little bit of like the stockings and that with it. And I thought, since I had it out and since it dries so quickly, I normally would never do this if I was using stickles because I would just make a mess and end up like gluing the inside of the card together. But yeah, since this dries quick, I did the shoes on the inside, and that's all there was to it. So there'll be a link below to my blog post with links to all the supplies used. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!